Side of the post, it's kicked over the end line. Ronaldson can't believe it. It looked good most of the way. The players shake hands. It's been a terrific game of rugby, Michael.
It really has, and Ronaldson there, he had the distance, but unfortunately for Connacht, it was just to the left of the post and hit the post and game over. But as round one games go, very, very entertaining as we see the kick again.
Yeah, no difficulty with the distance, just the outside of the post. There's the reaction of the men on the bench. They can't believe it.
And Glasgow will be absolutely delighted with the victory. And if you're looking at it, a very unlike Glasgow win, really. Instead of the free-flowing rugby that they're being accustomed to in recent years, it was very much a game won by the pack up front, with 2 tries in the first half scored by them, and then with glimpses and sparkles of magic from the likes of Stuart Hogg.
Full-time score, Connacht 26, Glasgow 27. 4 tries for Glasgow, so they get the 4-try bonus point as well. It's 5 points on the league table for them, 1 for Connacht, 1 losing bonus point. They deserve more than that, Michael.
Yeah, it was a strange game from Connacht's point of view. Some fantastic stuff, but a lot of unforced errors, and just a final pass on a couple of occasions didn't go to hand. A couple of crucial penalties, and in the second half there, they kind of switched off the pedal, and unfortunately for them, gave away a few penalties. Glasgow got a sniff, held the ball on particularly well, and scored a couple of tries and deserved winners. But for Connacht now, they have a couple of home games coming up, the likes of Zebre and Scarlets, and we'll be hoping to try and make the most of it.
Well, the Connacht players dejected. They gave everything there today. Difficult in the heat, but the conditions perfect for rugby otherwise. 6 tries. Glasgow, they stuck at it right to the end. They looked like they might have been beaten. There's Fasaro showing how much of the wars he's been in, covered in blood. But 2 sides gave everything out there. A very, very entertaining game, but Connacht the ones disappointed. Glasgow will be absolutely delighted to come away with 5 points here. There were 9 points behind, 6 down at half-time. Connacht only scored 3 points in that second half, a single penalty from Carty.
And that's the difference. And you see the Glasgow pack going through there, and the likes of George Turner, who had an absolute stormer, and Oliver Kebbell, who carried well and did fantastic in the tight. To take a bow, lads, because those guys really gave them the front foot.
Stuart, great
Hogg.
result for you. A bit tense at the end. How did you find it?
Cracking game. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Our boys worked incredibly hard. We didn't make it easy for ourselves at times, and a bit credit to the boys. We dug deep and got that result.
Got on the end of a lovely drop goal as well. Can you talk us through that yourself?
Yeah, I've practiced about 1 million times, and Wilson will be able to tell you I've never ever got them in training. So I just saw it as a wee opportunity. It was a kind of shot to nothing really, but as I say, the boys got me into that position to get that over, and I'm chuffed to bits that we're going away with a win.
Look, it was a key score, and you were nominated as man of the match, and here to present is Ray Sheehan of Guinness. Ryan, obviously the result that you've wanted, you started really well last season and went on a run. How important is this win away on the road?
Yeah, it's huge. We've had a tough pre-season, and I don't know. Look, there's been some stuff said in the press about the squad that we've got this year, but it just shows we've got a team that will dig deep. It wasn't pretty. It certainly wasn't easy, but we got the result there, and that's all we came for.
You talk about character in the team, and with some new young faces coming in, that's really important to you. But the disappointment maybe of last year, is that a driving force for you as well this year? Yeah,
certainly. There's a lot of gutted boys, and listen, we're probably stronger for that. But again, I'm just chuffed with the effort the boys put in today. We're not used to this sunshine, so it was hot out there, but we did well to win that one.
Going forward, what are the obstacles you see, and who are the strong teams that you're going to face going into this competition?
Oh, listen, everyone's strong. Connacht, they showed you today that they're a strong team as well. You've got your Leinsters, your Scarlets right up there playing well, and we've got a tough game at home next week against Munster. So, it's there's no easy games anymore in this league. So it's going to be a tough one, but looking forward to the battle ahead.
Going forward, what is the goal for the team within this competition? Where do you see yourselves?
Win it. We're here to win it.
Okay, we wish you all the best. Thanks for talking to us. Cheers.
Cheers, Ryan. Cheers, fellas.
Chris Riley, just because I started talking, he started saying
say you're on again.
I thought we got it right with the second half. Yeah, it's hard work. Let's tickle a few times.
That was completely pointless today. It shows that we took it.
Might be the first and last time ever, yeah.
Oh yeah, at least here you're covered actually, aren't you?
Thank you very much. Sorry about the stress.
Forward to seeing the return of a world-class British and Irish Lion, but he ain't gonna make it. He's out. He'll be replaced by Stephen Hughes in the centre. Stephen Hughes wasn't actually even meant to be on the bench, but he travelled, and good job he did because he's in. Here's the Ulster side. Marcel Coetzee will be targeting those centres, no doubt. Great to see him back. He again has had a terrible time through injury. Henry Spate is also starting, a debut for Ulster, and that's Billy Burns. Is he the man to take over Ulster's number 10 position? Will he be Ulster's new fly half? He certainly is today. Johnny McPhillips not on the bench, so a lot expected from Billy Burns. So it's Ulster against Scarlets, live here in Belfast from the Kingspan Stadium. Well, so many different storylines around this game, but they've all just had to be ripped up because certainly there's no story bigger, Sean Hawley, than the absence of Jonathan Davies when he is here, so near and yet so far from a true rugby legend.
Yeah, desperately disappointed for John Trims, and I just walked across, congratulated him on seeing him back, and he must have done something in the warm-up there because, as you saw, Wayne Pivac rushed onto the field. He's clearly made the call. I think Jonathan wanted to play on, but you know, there's a lot of games to go in this season, both club and international level, and Steph Hughes comes in. It just shows the beauty of travelling with a 24th and 25th reserve.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course there's a World Cup at the end of this season as well, so there'll be Welsh rugby fans biting their fingernails, I imagine. Let's talk about Ulster, Andrew. That was one of the big stories, was that Dan McFarlane's first game as a head coach and first game here at Ulster. He's only been here for 2 weeks. He won't have had enough time to influence things, you wouldn't imagine.
No, I think he'll subtly make an influence in the last couple of weeks. There's a couple of other coaches have kind of come to the fore over the summer, and they've had to put their hand up and take a lot more responsibility than they probably would have been expecting. But Dan's come in there. I'm sure he's cracking the whip and he's getting the boys all set. There's an exciting kind of feel about the team at the minute. I think they're very, very keen to move on and just forget about last year. And by talking to a couple of the boys, it seems like last year is a distant memory, so they're excited about what they can do this year.
It's easy to be down on them for last season, but we should remember they finished with 5 wins on the bounce. They made the Champions Cup. There's got to be some momentum that they can take from that, albeit they lost a lot of players, including yourself and Tommy and guys like that in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've lost a few guys and they've signed a few guys, and hopefully those guys will be pretty influential. One guy who's definitely going to be influential is Coetzee. He's been very, very unlucky the last couple of years, and I think in the previous couple of seasons, it's always been the Scarlets back row that have dominated defensively, got over the ball and just made carnage of Ulster's fast ball or anybody's fast ball. And I think there's an opportunity. That's a back row that compete. Marcel Coetzee, Sean Reedy and Nick Timley, that's a physical back row that compete with the Scarlets back row.
Let's talk about the number 10, Billy Burns. We saw him in the warm-up there, Sean. What have you made of him? Is that a good signing?
Yeah, he's a good signing. You don't get many English players, dare I say, playing in the Pro 14, so it'll be a different kind of rugby for him, but he's now Irish qualified, of course, and that's what he said he wants to pin his badge, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he copes with this, because the Scarlets will bring a little bit of line speed. They're very aggressive off the ball, so he won't have it all his own way on the front foot, but a proven player. I think it's a good signing for Ulster.
What does it say about the way that they want to play this season, that he's starting the first game under Dan McFarlane?
Yeah, it says a lot, because he's an attacking fly half. He plays flat to the line. He tries things. And, you know, of course, he's got good players around him. He's got McCloskey and Darren Cave, two experienced centres. And, you know, if he gets into any trouble, he can look to them. So, you know, it's an exciting battle tonight with him and Rhys Patchell. You know, very similar players, but not similar in stature.
You mentioned Marcel Coetzee, Andrea. I've only ever seen him in the flesh once. He was wearing a suit, and I felt sorry for the suit, nearly coming apart at the seams. He's a big physical specimen. What will he bring to this Ulster pack that might have been missing in his absence last year?
He's a monster. He's an absolute monster. There's a little bit of subtlety there in that back row. There's a little bit of balance, but Marcel, I think we know exactly what we're going to get with him. He's going to get over the gain line. He's going to get us fast ball.
Nothing too subtle about a guy built like that. I'm looking forward to seeing him. He's almost like a new signing, Sean, isn't he? Because he's played so little rugby here. Only 5, I think, games over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and a proven international. And don't forget, you got Ian Henderson in the second row as well. He's a back 5 player, so that's quite a mobile pack they got, albeit a physical and big pack. And I think that's where the difference in the game will be tonight, because the Scarlets are depleted in that area. No Jake Ball. They've lost Ty Byrne. John Barkley's gone. And new signing, Kasim is out injured as well, so it could be a point of difference.
Let's hear from the two directors of rugby then. Wayne Pivac and Dan McFarlane have been speaking to Mark Robson.
Last season very much an annus horribilis for Ulster, but of course nothing to do with you. But you've only been here for 12 days, a fortnight. What impact have you had, and what is Dan's plan?
What impact have I had? Well, the first 2 weeks have been spent assessing the situation, getting to know the players, getting to know the staff. In terms of impact, I think I've been very clear in what I want from them from day one, and as I get to know them over the next few weeks, we'll find out who's willing to step up.
Wayne, 6 knockout games in the last 2 seasons, plus a trophy. How do you maintain that momentum this season?
Certainly a lot of hard work, in the off-season, making sure the boys, are in the right condition to kick it off here with hopefully a good performance in round 1. Making sure that we don't sort of relax too much and believe that we're the finished articles. So we know that we're not, and there's a lot of work to be done. And a lot of teams are doing a lot of work in the off-season and obviously working out how we play the game. So we've got to try and stay one step ahead.
We've got to show a competitive edge. I think that's absolutely key. It's what the fans here want. It's what the people of Ulster want. It's what what's driven Ulster over a number of years. We need to demonstrate that on the pitch. I'll be looking for the players who are willing to stand up and do that. And I think in the first 2 weeks that'll be exciting for me to look at and try and pick that out.
There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and for me now it's just focusing on each week, preparing the team as we would normally, so nothing changes there, and I'm sure those things will take care of themselves.
Let's pick up with Wayne Pivac, Sean.